My beloved child. There is a reason your heart brought you here today. Nothing about this moment is ordinary. Nothing about these words is an accident. While countless voices compete for your attention every single day, one voice has remained stronger than all the noise. It has been calling your name with patience, with purpose, and with perfect timing. Heaven has been trying to reach you in ways you could not recognize before. The signs appeared in quiet moments. The unexpected feeling that someone was watching over you. The strange peace that arrived without explanation. The dreams you almost forgot after waking up. The sudden feeling to stop and listen. These were not random moments. They were gentle reminders that something greater has already begun moving toward your life. Right now, an archangel is shouting from heaven, not because you have been forgotten, but because something serious is entering your life. This is not the kind of moment that passes without leaving a mark. This is the kind of moment that changes the direction of everything that comes next. Before this message reaches its ending, you will begin connecting pieces that never made sense before. You will remember moments you once called coincidence. You will recognize doors that quietly closed for reasons you never understood. You will realize that every delay carried a hidden purpose. Stay with these words until the very end, because the final revelation will explain why this exact day feels different from every other day you have lived. Not every battle announces itself with noise. Some arrive silently. They stand at the edge of your future, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal themselves. But today is different. Today, heaven refused to remain silent. The archangel is calling with urgency because something has crossed the boundary between possibility and reality. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but you can already feel it deep inside your spirit. That unexplained pressure. That growing expectation. That feeling that life cannot continue the same way forever. Those feelings are not empty emotions. They are signals preparing your heart for what is approaching. Many people ignore these moments because they expect miracles to appear in dramatic ways. Yet the greatest turning points often begin with a whisper before they become impossible to ignore. Someone watching this message has been asking for an answer without even speaking the words aloud. Heaven heard every silent question. Every hidden tear. Every lonely night. Every moment you wondered if your story would ever change. The answer has not been delayed because you were forgotten. It has been prepared because the right moment carries greater power than the fastest moment. And now that moment is standing closer than you think. But there is one detail that almost nobody expects. What is entering your life will first appear in a form so ordinary that many people around you will completely overlook it. Somewhere beyond everything you currently understand, a conversation has already taken place. A decision connected to your future has already been set into motion. You cannot hear those voices with your ears, but your spirit has been sensing their echo for days. That unexplained feeling that something is about to happen has not appeared without reason. It has been growing because the distance between today and your next chapter is becoming smaller with every passing moment. The archangel is still calling. The message has not become quieter. It has become clearer. Do not measure your future by what you see around you today. Measure it by the hope that refuses to disappear, even after every difficult season you have faced. Hope survives because purpose survives. And purpose survives because heaven has not finished writing your story. What happens next will reveal why this exact day could become the beginning of a journey you will remember for the rest of your life. The next part uncovers the first unmistakable sign that the unseen movement has already reached your world. There is one hidden detail that has remained unseen until this moment. It has followed you through every season of your life, yet you never realized how important it truly was. Think about every time you felt an unexpected pull to change direction. Every time you decided not to go somewhere. Every time a delay interrupted your plans. Every time a conversation ended before it could become something greater. At first, each of those moments seemed disconnected. But now they are beginning to form a pattern. The Archangel continues calling because that pattern is about to become visible. Heaven never wasted a single experience you have lived through. Even the moments that appeared meaningless carried a purpose beyond your understanding. There were lessons hidden inside disappointments. There was wisdom growing inside silence. There was strength being built during the seasons when nobody noticed your efforts. Today, those unseen pieces are quietly moving together. Very soon, one unexpected event will remind you of something you almost forgot. It may be a memory, a place, a familiar voice, or an opportunity that suddenly returns after a long absence. When it happens, your heart will recognize it before your mind fully understands it. That is because heaven often confirms its direction through peace before it reveals the complete picture. Something remarkable also happens whenever a new chapter is about to begin. The old chapter slowly loses its hold on your heart. The worries that once felt impossible begin feeling smaller. The fears that controlled your thoughts become quieter. The questions that kept you awake no longer carry the same weight. This is not because your circumstances have completely changed. It is because your spirit has already stepped into a place your eyes have not reached yet. The Archangel is shouting from heaven because your inner transformation is arriving before your visible transformation. That order is never accidental. Everything lasting begins from within. Once your heart becomes ready, your path begins opening in ways that no one could have predicted. You may notice people entering your life with words you needed to hear. You may receive encouragement exactly when you believed none would come. You may suddenly understand why certain seasons had to last as long as they did. Every answer will arrive at its perfect moment. Nothing will feel rushed. Nothing will feel forced. Instead, everything will carry a quiet certainty that reminds you this journey has been guided all along. Now listen closely, because this next truth is one that many people overlook. Heaven does not measure your future by your past mistakes. It measures your future by the purpose that still remains ahead of you. That is why the Archangel refuses to stop calling your name. Your story has never been defined by the chapters that brought disappointment. Those chapters were only preparing you to recognize the value of what is coming next. There are moments ahead that will surprise you with their timing. Doors that seemed permanently closed will no longer remain locked. Answers that once felt impossible to find will appear with unexpected clarity. The people around you may only see fortunate circumstances, but your heart will know there was something far greater working behind every scene. One day you will look back and realize that the greatest miracle was not how quickly everything changed. It was how perfectly every piece came together when the right moment finally arrived. And as this journey continues, an even greater revelation is waiting just beyond the horizon, one that will explain why this season could become the most unforgettable chapter of your entire story. There is one final mystery that has not yet been revealed. It has remained hidden because the right moment had not yet arrived. But now the distance between the unseen and the visible is becoming smaller with every passing hour. The Archangel is still calling your name with unwavering purpose. Heaven is not asking you to fear what is coming. Heaven is asking you to recognize it. Something serious is entering your life, not to take away your peace, but to establish a future that has been prepared far longer than you realize. You have spent enough time wondering if your efforts mattered. You have questioned whether your quiet faith was noticed. The answer has always been yes. Every step, every prayer, every hopeful thought carried more significance than you could measure. Even during the moments when nothing appeared to change, unseen progress was still taking place. The foundation was becoming stronger. The timing was becoming more precise. The path was becoming clearer. Soon, one ordinary day will suddenly feel extraordinary because a single moment will connect everything you have experienced. You will recognize that this was never a collection of random events. It was one carefully guided journey leading you toward this exact season. The next sign will be impossible to ignore because it will arrive with perfect timing. It may happen when you least expect it, during an ordinary conversation, while completing a familiar routine, or while reflecting in complete silence. Suddenly, something that once seemed uncertain will become unmistakably clear. A new understanding will settle over your heart with unusual peace. You will not need anyone to convince you that something has changed because your spirit will already know it. This is one of the quiet ways heaven confirms that a new chapter has truly begun. The Archangel continues shouting because many people stand at the edge of remarkable moments without realizing how close they are. They turn back just before the breakthrough becomes visible. They stop believing just before the answer arrives. But your journey is calling you to remain steady. Hold on to hope even when every visible reason tells you to let go. Sometimes the greatest confirmation arrives only moments after the greatest uncertainty. Stay ready, because what appears ordinary at first may become the very event you remember for years to come. There is also someone watching these words who has carried a silent question for a very long time. You have wondered whether your life could truly become different, or whether every tomorrow would simply repeat yesterday. Heaven has heard that question many times, even when you never spoke it aloud. The response has not been delayed because it was forgotten. It was delayed because the answer required the right season to unfold completely. Now that season is approaching with quiet confidence. The Archangel's voice continues to echo because your purpose has not become smaller through waiting. It has become stronger. Every challenge you overcame added another layer of wisdom. Every disappointment strengthened your patience. Every unexpected delay shaped a heart capable of appreciating what is about to arrive. Soon you will discover that the greatest blessing was not only the destination, but also the person you became while walking toward it. That realization will fill your heart with a peace unlike anything you have experienced before. And when the next chapter begins to unfold, you will understand why heaven remained faithful through every moment of your journey, even when you could not yet see the reason.